Leptis to Libya. This short phrase connects two worlds separated by millennia, yet bound by the same North African coastline. It begins among silent, sun-bleached stones of a mighty Roman city and ends in the bustling, complex streets of a modern nation. This is not just the passage of time, it is the enduring spirit of a land that has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the crossing of countless cultures, and the unyielding resilience of its people. To understand Libya today, walk through the echoes of its past, starting with its foundations and the people who first called this landscape home. The narrative is etched into the soil, threads from across the Mediterranean and deep within the African continent, long before the arrival of Phoenician sailors. Roman legions, the land we now call Libya, belonged to the Amazigh people, often called Berbers, indigenous inhabitants of North Africa, with a history stretching back thousands of years. Their presence is the foundation of Libyan identity, a deep cultural bedrock for later civilizations. Not a single monolithic group, a collection of distinct tribes and communities, each with traditions and dialects. Masters of the coastal plains, masters of the rugged mountains, masters of the vast Sahara, resourceful and adaptable way of life tied to the environment. On the fertile coast they farmed, cultivating grains, cultivating olives. In the arid interior and Sahara, many lived nomadic, many lived semi-nomadic, navigating deserts with camel caravans controlling vital trans-Saharan trade routes. They created unique art, developed music used the Tifinagh script. Social structures were complex, built around clans and tribal confederations fiercely guarding independence and heritage. Relations with incoming powers were complex: Phoenicians, Greeks, Romans, Arabs. Sometimes peaceful trade and cultural exchange, adopting new technologies and ideas, influencing their neighbors in return. Other times, fierce resistance, rebellions from mountain strongholds, rebellions from desert strongholds defending their autonomy. This blend of collaboration and resistance defines the Amazigh experience, engaging with the world while preserving identity. Today, Amazigh culture remains vital in Libya. Tamazight is still spoken in communities, especially the Nafusa Mountains, in oasis, towns like Gadames. Their symbols, their music, their traditions continue to enrich Libya, reminding of deep pre-Arab, pre-Roman roots. Many Libyans now look back to this heritage, recognizing the Amazigh as central to Libya's present and future. On the Mediterranean coast, not far from modern-day Tripoli, lie the spectacular ruins of Leptis Magna. It was once one of the Roman Empire's most beautiful and prominent cities. Originally a Phoenician trading post, its strategic coastal location and its fertile hinterland. It became a vital hub for exports, olive oil, grain, and exotic animals for Rome's games. The city's wealth grew exponentially, and that prosperity was lavished on public buildings, creating a cityscape of breathtaking grandeur. Its ruins today offer a stunning glimpse into Roman urban life in Africa. Visitors can still walk along colonnaded streets, explore the remains of a vast marketplace, and marvel at the intricate mosaics. The city boasted a massive amphitheater, a beautifully preserved theater, and an elaborate bathing complex that was a center of social life. The harbor was an engineering marvel, the lighthouse, and the fortified quays. Leptis Magna was not merely an outpost, it was a shining example of Roman civilization, a cosmopolitan center where African and Roman cultures met and mingled. The city's influence reached its absolute zenith with the rise of one of its own sons to the imperial throne. In 193 AD, Lucius Septimius Severus, born in Leptis Magna to a family of local Phoenician and Italian stock, became the Emperor of Rome. He never forgot his hometown. During his reign, he initiated a massive and ambitious building program, transforming Leptis Magna into a true imperial capital in Africa. He commissioned a magnificent new forum, a basilica, and the famous four-way triumphal arch that still bears his name. His patronage solidified the city's status, making it a symbol of the integration of provincial elites into Roman power. The story of Leptis Magna and its emperor, Septimius Severus, is a crucial chapter in Libya's history. It shows that for a time this region was not on the periphery, but was, in a very real sense, at the center of the empire. The life of Severus bridges Libya and Rome, Africa and Europe, highlighting the deep connections forged by the Roman Empire across the Mediterranean. While the city eventually declined and was slowly reclaimed by the shifting sands, its magnificent ruins endure as a powerful symbol of a golden age and a reminder of Libya's long and storied history as a crossroads of great civilizations. Libya's history and culture have been profoundly shaped by its unique and challenging geography. The country occupies a strategic position, forming a long coastline along the central Mediterranean Sea, while its vast southern interior stretches deep into the heart of the Sahara Desert, the largest hot desert in the world. This duality, the sea to the north, the sand to the south, has defined Libya for millennia, making it a natural bridge between continents and cultures. It was destined to be a place of passage, a zone of interaction. Europe, the Middle East, Sub-Saharan Africa would inevitably meet and mix. The Mediterranean coast provided access to the bustling network of maritime trade that connected the entire ancient world. The sea brought ships carrying goods, people, ideas. The transition into the modern era brought profound and often violent changes to Libya. In the early 20th century, the weakening Ottoman Empire lost control of the territory to an ambitious Italy, which sought to build its own colonial empire in Africa. The Italian occupation, beginning in 1911, was met with fierce and sustained resistance, particularly from guerrilla forces, led by figures like Omar al-Mukhtar. The Italian regime was brutal, but it also left a mark on the country's infrastructure, building new roads, ports, administrative buildings, especially in the coastal cities. This period ended with Italy's defeat in World War II, after which Libya was placed under Allied administration. In 1951, Libya achieved a milestone, becoming one of the first African nations to gain independence in the post-war era. It was established as the United Kingdom of Libya, a constitutional monarchy under King Idris I. Initially, the new nation was one of the poorest in the world, heavily reliant on foreign aid. Its fortunes, however, were dramatically transformed in 1959 with the discovery of vast petroleum reserves buried beneath its desert sands. The sudden influx of oil wealth brought rapid modernization, funding the construction of new cities, schools, hospitals, and fundamentally altering the economic and social fabric of the country. This era of monarchy and nascent oil wealth came to an abrupt end in 1969. A group of young military officers, led by a charismatic 27-year-old colonel named Muammar Gaddafi, staged a bloodless coup and overthrew the king. Gaddafi established a republic and embarked on a radical political and social experiment, outlined in his Green Book. His long rule, spanning over 4 decades, was marked by a mixture of populist social programs, oil-funded projects, and severe political repression. On the world stage, Gaddafi pursued an unpredictable and often confrontational foreign policy, leading to decades of international isolation and sanctions. The final chapter of Gaddafi's rule began in February 2011. Inspired by the Arab Spring uprisings that were sweeping through Tunisia, Egypt, protests erupted in Libyan cities demanding political freedom and an end to his regime. The demonstrations quickly escalated into a full-blown civil war, pitting rebel forces against Gaddafi's loyalists. The conflict drew in international intervention, with a NATO-led coalition enforcing a no-fly zone and conducting airstrikes. After months of brutal fighting, rebel forces captured Tripoli, and Gaddafi's 42-year rule came to a violent end, ushering Libya into a new, uncertain, and deeply challenging era. The 2011 revolution did not bring the immediate peace and stability that many Libyans had hoped for. The collapse of the old regime left a power vacuum, Political fragmentation, intense rivalries between armed groups and foreign interference. The country split into competing factions, with rival governments vying for control of its institutions and vast oil wealth. Cities were damaged, the economy faltered, and the daily lives of ordinary people were fraught with uncertainty and hardship. The dream of a unified, democratic Libya seemed to recede as the nation grappled with the difficult task of building new institutions from the ground up. Despite these immense challenges, the story of post-2011 Libya is also one of remarkable resilience. Throughout the turmoil, Libyan society has shown a profound capacity to endure and adapt. At the local level, communities have worked tirelessly to maintain a sense of normalcy. Civil society organizations have emerged. Activists, artists, ordinary citizens striving to rebuild social trust, advocate for human rights, and keep the hope for a better future alive. Families have supported one another, and local leaders have often succeeded in mediating conflicts where national efforts have failed, demonstrating a strength that persists even in the absence of a strong central state. Today, Libya stands at a critical juncture, its future still unwritten. The path forward is complex and fraught with obstacles, but there are signs of hope. There is a widespread and deep-seated desire among the Libyan people for peace, stability, and a functioning government that can provide security and essential services. They aspire to a state where the rule of law prevails, where economic opportunities are shared more equitably, and where their nation's sovereignty is respected. The journey toward this goal requires patience, compromise, and a concerted effort to heal the deep divisions that have emerged over the past decade. The long journey from Leptis to Libya offers a powerful lesson in perspective. This ancient land has weathered the rise and fall of countless powers and has absorbed centuries of change and conflict. The Libyan people are the inheritors of this long history of endurance. Amazigh roots to their Roman Golden Age. From the trans-Saharan traders to the modern revolutionaries, their story is one of survival and adaptation. While the present is difficult, this historical resilience provides a foundation for cautious optimism. The future of Libya ultimately rests in the hands of its people, who possess the strength and the historical depth to forge a new path toward unity and prosperity. The past is never truly past. It lives on in the present. Ancient trade routes show in the diverse faces of Libya's people. Memories of powerful leaders, foreign and local, have shaped expectations and aspirations for generations. Today's challenges, the struggle for unity, the search for a stable government, the desire for a prosperous future, are rooted in historical forces that swept across this land for thousands of years. From the ancient port of Leptis Magna to the modern capital of Tripoli, the story is perpetual transformation and enduring identity. We are not merely looking at ruins or recounting old tales. We are piecing together the very soul of a nation. We listen to desert winds that carried stories of traders, soldiers, nomads. We stand on shores of a sea that brought conquerors and scholars. We attempt to understand deep-seated strengths that allowed Libyans to navigate prosperity and hardship. The journey from Leptis to Libya is a testament to human endurance and a lesson in how a place can hold countless stories and still look toward a new dawn. In stark contrast, the Sahara Desert presented an immense barrier, a sea of sand that was both a challenge and an opportunity. For those who could master it, the desert was not an end but a highway. For centuries, Amazigh traders, Arab traders, guided camel caravans along treacherous trans-Saharan trade routes, connecting the Mediterranean world with the kingdoms of West Africa. These caravans transported gold, salt, ivory, and enslaved people northward, while carrying textiles, beads, other manufactured goods southward. The oasis towns that dotted these routes, such as Ghadames Marzouk, became vital centers of commerce and cultural exchange, where goods and knowledge were traded under the scorching sun. This unique geographical position as a land bridge fostered a remarkable cultural synthesis. Over the centuries, Roman, Greek, Arab, Amazigh, Ottoman, Sub-Saharan African influences have all blended together to create Libya's distinctive identity. This is reflected in its food, music, architecture, people. The country's role as a crossroads has been both a blessing and a curse. It brought wealth and diversity, but it also made the land a coveted prize for foreign powers. Understanding this geographical destiny is key to understanding the complexities of Libya's past and the challenges it continues to face in the present. From the ancient port of Leptis Magna to the modern capital of Tripoli, the story is perpetual transformation and enduring identity.